Natalie, how do you make that amazing sauce that you use with your shrimp sandwiches? I make a sauce like this for a lot of things. Typically, I will use mayonnaise. You see the mayonnaise here, and some black pepper, a dash of cumin, sriracha. Make sure a nice spicy brown mustard. I'm not talking about Grey Poupon. That taste is not my ideal. I need like a deli mustard that's not with wine in it. But it's up to your preference. This is a smoked paprika. It happens to be from Morocco. There's a little bit of pink salt down here. And this is a bunch of dill powder, dried dill. The dried dill is not what I normally put in here, but this is for shrimp specifically. And this keeps better in the fridge if you make a lot of it at the same time and put a saran wrap on the top of it and use it throughout the week. It'll last 3 or 4 days. But if you're going to use it with more fresh ingredients, you want to use it a little quicker, like a day or two. So in this case, we've got a bunch of red onions, and a little bit goes a long way with these. My honey loves onions, so we're going to use some of these raw in the sandwich as well, but we're going to put a bunch of these right in here. This is cilantro stems. They're lovely and crunchy, and they're very tasty. I don't like to use the leaves as much as the stems when I'm making it for like a mayonnaise or a sauce. I like to use the stems. And then the fluffy parts here, we're going to use these like lettuce in the sandwich. And I just love cilantro. I could have like tons of cilantro. These are little red spicy sweet peppers. These I'm actually going to put in the sandwich. I think I'm going to saute them with the shrimp. They're here. They're just going to get very lightly seared in a tiny bit of butter in a pan, very lightly seared, and then they're going to get thrown into this lovely bisque I already made. See the other videos, and that's cooling right now because it takes very little time to make that delicious using the shells from the shrimp. So then this just gets all mixed up. You can kind of play with this, but if you just use mayonnaise, or you can use sour cream, or you can even use a whole plain Greek yogurt. If you use anything low fat, it's going to be zingy and strange tasting, in my opinion. But I'm also thinking of putting a little bit of that in there. But this is the garlic. I do chop my own garlic, however, this is so convenient. And I haven't had any problems with it. Usually the garlic that's already chopped looks a little bit brown already and weird, and I don't like it. But this one's, since there's no air getting in there, it seems to be really fresh and stay really fresh. So if you make this, like, I actually could put more creamy stuff in here, more mayonnaise, to make a lot more. I think I probably will. And taste it, of course. It tastes good immediately, but it's gonna sort of get more delicious in about 10-15 minutes. If you want to leave this at room temperature for a little bit to get all lovely, you can. And then, like I said, I always cover everything when I'm leaving it sit for a little while. Not for very long. This doesn't have any shrimp or seafood in it or anything yet, but what's going to happen is these are going to get seared, and then they're going to get cooked very, very quickly in this nice bisque. And then they're going to be removed and chopped up, and then they're going to be tossed in some of this and put on some toasted sourdough with, I'm going to cook some of these with it, and put some raw onions, and this is going to be like the lettuce. And I can't remember if we used any cheese last time, but I have some cotija cheese that might work, and I have Havarti also. We might not need cheese. I think we didn't use cheese. All right, so that's what we're going to do. This is the spicy mayonnaise for shrimp, seafood, or for any purpose. But if you don't want the dill, don't put the dill. I just did it because I just like a little bit of dill with any seafood, just about. Okay, thanks. And by the way, you also will want to squeeze a little bit of lemon juice in here if you can. I'm out of lemons, hoping my honey will bring me some. If you squeeze a little bit of lemon juice on the shrimps right before you make the sandwich, also very delicious. Okay.